Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could, look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
Today in our community, we're teaching a workshop on how to use assessments to coach. Now, when you think about assessments, there's so many tools out there. And when you think about DISC and predictive index and Myers-Briggs, there's so many things out there that allow you to better understand not just other people, but yourself. Now, let me talk about Myers-Briggs. I'm an ENFJ. So anybody who knows Myers-Briggs, that should not be a shock. So E is I'm a strong extrovert. And a lot of times when we do these assessments, we have to help people not only interpret the results, but really position people to understand how to approach and communicate with other people. Yet, with that being said, we also have to be very conscientious that it's very difficult to do. So we have an objective. So let's say somebody's coaching me and they know I'm an E and they want to change me. They want me to be more calm and conducive and pulled back in meetings. Now, I probably should be. Yet at the same time, I also know that'll feel like scratching a chalkboard. So when we're coaching, we have our objective, and then we have the assessment, and we have our desired results. Remember, we have to understand the tools that we're using. So when you look at something like DISC or Myers-Briggs, those are personality traits. And by the way, great tools. Now, on the other hand, at Progress Coaching, we're certified in emotional intelligence. So when you look at areas such as, self-perception, self-expression, interpersonal, decision-making, stress management, and then they have some subsets in each of those 5 areas. Those are attributes that we can leverage and improve more. So I actually scored very high in self-awareness, yet I scored very low a few years ago in empathy, and I'm actually practicing to be more empathetic. Now, in addition, years ago, I took an assessment called the Bossy, and it really helps you derive the entrepreneurial DNA. And it's from a gentleman by the name of Joe Abraham, and B is builder, O is opportunist, S is a support person, and I is an innovator. Now, when you look at someone with my personality who's an E in Myers-Briggs, you would immediately say, wow, he's the O, he's the opportunist, he's the sales guy. It was actually my lowest score. My DNA showed that I'm a high innovator. I love to build, especially in this digital world. I love it. I've loved all the time the pandemic has afforded me because normally I'm traveling. And so it's interesting when we use assessments, we have to understand one fundamental thing. What's our objective of the assessment? The tool. Are we understanding personality? Are we understanding attributes? Are we understanding DNA and the way people do things? And then how are we going to use that assessment, and what are the desired results? So let's say somebody hypothetically said, I want to make Tim an accountant. He's going to sit in a cubicle and crunch numbers all day. Now, for any of you who know me, I would imagine you're laughing right now. So the point being is when we are using assessments, we have to know our objective, choose the right tool, and then know how to use the results and map them to your desired result. Let me give you another one. We're actually certified in something called the Motivator assessment. Now, my top score was innovation. My third highest score was fun. So I like to have fun when I work. Anybody who's worked with me probably is not shocked by that. And so we learned this from a great client of ours, Rockford Credit Union in Illinois. They used the Motivator assessment and they turned us on to it. And they actually map their coaching. So when they have someone who wants a high degree of fun, it gives you an indication of how to approach or potentially how to coach that person. Let me give you another one. One of my employees' lowest score was autonomy, which is associated with entrepreneurship. And she's a great graphic designer. She builds all our materials. She's really learned. She's really grown. She's done a great job the last couple of years. And my thought was, you know what? I'm going to set her up in her own business. And when I presented it to her as an afterthought, because once I saw her motivator assessment, it was actually her lowest score. And it quickly made me realize my suggestion, albeit with great intentions, would do what? It would probably make her feel uneasy. When I told her of my prior plans, you could see her almost get nervous, like I was going to make her do it, which I can't do, of course. Yet it teaches you how to approach and coach people. Now, again, at Progress Coaching, we always say, know your objective, take the assessment, and map it to your desired results. How do you map it? QALMS, questions, A, activities, L, learning projects, which is accountability and ownership, M, tying it into their motivation, and then S, supplemental coaching, observing, peer-to-peer, video, self-coaching. You get the idea. So again, when you're using assessments to coach, know your objective, choose the right tool. Don't use a personality assessment to change somebody. It's their personality. It is who they are. It's how they're wired. Now, if you use tools where there's attributes, then you have to also be aware of how to coach them and use something called QALMS, QALMS, and that is questions, activities, learning projects, motivators, and supplemental coaching. I hope this has helped. Let me know. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.